Diamond fringe tiaras are a timeless design found across numerous royal families. Inspired by traditional Russian kokoshniks, these jewels gained popularity for their elegant lines and the mesmerizing play of light on each diamond spike. The Romanovs played a significant role in their spread. During their reign, every Grand Duchess received such a tiara as part of her trousseau. These tiaras captivate, not only with their history, but also with their striking appearance. They resemble icy patterns or sharp frost-like spikes, as if crafted by nature itself for the winter months. And now, as the frosty season inspires thoughts of beauty, I present to you my top 10 most magnificent fringe tiaras, each with its own unique story. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you! Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara. Let's start with perhaps the most famous and iconic example, Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara. Created in 1919 by E. Wolfe and Company for Gerard, this tiara was commissioned by Queen Mary, grandmother of Queen Elizabeth II. The tiara was crafted using diamonds from a necklace, a wedding gift from Queen Victoria to Queen Mary in 1893. Fringe tiaras gained immense popularity after being introduced at the Romanov court, and the Windsor collection reflects this trend. In 1936, Queen Mary passed the tiara to her daughter-in-law, Queen Elizabeth, later known as the Queen Mother, upon King George VI's accession to the throne. Queen Elizabeth wore the tiara for official portraits, often pairing it with significant jewels such as the Coronation Riviere and the Greville Emerald necklace. The tiara's most famous chapter occurred in 1947 when the young Princess Elizabeth chose it for her wedding to Prince Philip. The morning of her wedding was marked by excitement and an unexpected mishap. The tiara broke. The court jeweler hurriedly repaired it, while the Queen Mother provided calm reassurance to her daughter. This moment was captured in history, and even in photographs, traces of the rushed repair can be seen. In 1973, the tiara once again shone brightly at another royal wedding, when Queen Elizabeth loaned it to her granddaughter, Princess Anne, who wore it alongside her Tudor-inspired gown. In 2020, the tiara made another public appearance as a bridal tiara when Queen Elizabeth II lent it to her granddaughter, Princess Beatrice, for her wedding to Count Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi. Who knows? Perhaps in the future, this tiara will grace the head of Princess Charlotte as her bridal diadem. Queen Adelaide's Diamond Fringe. Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara is often confused with another renowned piece, Queen Adelaide's Diamond Fringe. However, these tiaras differ in both origin and design. Queen Adelaide's tiara was commissioned in 1831 by King William IV for his consort, Adelaide, to celebrate their coronation. Crafted by Rundle and Bridge, the tiara features diamonds repurposed from the collection of King George III and Queen Charlotte. Originally a necklace, Adelaide wore the fringe during her husband's reign. After his death in 1837, she passed the jewel to her niece, Queen Victoria. The young queen reimagined its use by mounting it as a tiara. Following Prince Albert's death in 1861, the tiara saw less use but remained part of the crown jewels. In 1902, Queen Alexandrova wore the fringe as a waist ornament for her coronation. Later, in 1910, Queen Mary restored its use as a tiara, but eventually found the design outdated and commissioned the more modern and elegant Queen Mary's Fringe Tiara, which we discussed earlier. When Queen Elizabeth, consort of George VI, acquired the piece, it was converted back into a necklace, which she kept until her death in 2002. The fringe then passed to Queen Elizabeth II's collection, though, to the best of my knowledge, she never wore it, favoring the City of London fringe necklace, a wedding gift instead. Harewood Fringe Tiara. Created around 1890, the Harewood Fringe Tiara was a wedding gift to Princess Mary, the only daughter of King George V and Queen Mary, on her marriage to Viscount Lascelles in 1922. This generous gift was presented by the Earl and Countess of Inchcape, whose significant fortune came from the shipping industry. Shortly after the wedding, Princess Mary posed for portraits wearing the tiara in the fashionable low-on-the-forehead style of the time. Like many other fringe tiaras, the Harewood Fringe Tiara could also be transformed into a necklace, showcasing its versatility. Although this tiara was not her favorite, Princess Mary wore it for significant occasions and events. After her death in 1965, the tiara was sold at Christie's in 1966. The Duke of Westminster became its new owner, and today the tiara remains part of the Grosvenor family collection. While it is rarely seen in public, a replica was created for the Downton Abbey film, reigniting interest in its history. Kent City of London Fringe Tiara. This tiara was presented in 1934 as a wedding gift from the City of London to Princess Marina, Duchess of Kent, on her marriage to the Duke of Kent. An intriguing theory about its origins makes this tiara particularly fascinating. It is speculated that the tiara may originally have belonged to Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna, Vladimir, and was created around 1870. After Maria Pavlovna's death in exile in 1920, her children began selling the family's jewels to maintain their lifestyle. The tiara is believed to have been purchased by the Raja of Pudukkottai and worn by his wife, Australian-born Molly Fink. After the Raja's death in 1928, Molly sold the tiara. By 1934, it was acquired by the City of London as a wedding gift for Princess Marina. The Duchess of Kent first wore the tiara publicly during the coronation celebrations in 1937. Over the years, it became a familiar part of her jewelry collection, frequently seen at formal events. The tiara also played an important role in Kent family weddings. In 1963, Princess Marina's daughter, Princess Alexandrova, wore it for her wedding to Angus Ogilvy at Westminster Abbey. After Princess Marina's death in 1968, the tiara passed to her younger son, Prince Michael of Kent. His wife, Princess Michael, added her own touches, occasionally decorating the tiara with velvet or additional jewels to give it a kokoshnik-like appearance. In 2019, the tiara returned to bridal glory when Lady Gabriella Windsor wore it for her wedding at St. George's Chapel. Vladimir Fringe Tiara. The story of the Vladimir Fringe Tiara partially overlaps with that of the Kent City of London Fringe Tiara, particularly regarding their origins. It is widely believed that the Vladimir Fringe Tiara was inherited by Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna from her mother, Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna Vladimir. However, there is speculation that the tiara known today as the Kent City of London Fringe Tiara might actually have been Maria Pavlovna's tiara, sold after her death and eventually gifted to Princess Marina. But this remains unconfirmed. As far as I know, it is still a mystery how and from whom the Corporation of the City of London acquired the tiara. Perhaps you have some insights to share and can shed light on this in the comments. When Grand Duchess Elena married Prince Nicholas of Greece in 1902, she reportedly received a diamond Russian tiara of the type given to all Grand Duchesses, which could also be worn as a necklace, supposedly as a wedding gift from Tsar Nicholas II. If this tiara remained with Elena, it raises the question, was the Vladimir Fringe Tiara that of her mother? Or could it be the same tiara now associated with the Kent family? The Vladimir Fringe Tiara played a significant role in the lives of Elena's daughters. Two of them highlighted their Russian heritage by wearing it as their bridal tiara. In 1934, Princess Marina wore the tiara for her wedding ceremonies with the Duke of Kent, while a few months earlier, her elder sister, Princess Elizabeth, had worn it for her wedding to Count Karl Theodor von Thoring-Jettenbach. However, Marina did not inherit the tiara. Instead, it was passed to Elizabeth, becoming a treasured family heirloom. It adorned Elizabeth's daughter, Helene, at her wedding in 1956 and her granddaughter, Sophie, in 1990. Most recently, the tiara appeared in 2005 at the wedding of Elizabeth's great-grandson, Archduke Maximilian. Miller Fringe Tiara. The Miller Fringe Tiara is one of the newest additions to the Greek royal family's collection and is associated with Crown Princess Marie Chantal. Although the exact origins of the tiara remain unknown, it is believed to have been a gift from her family, whose wealth stems from duty-free shops co-founded by her father, Robert Warren Miller. This tiara features a classic fringe design in the Russian style, with tall diamond spikes alternating with shorter ones. It is a substantial piece that nearly encircles the wearer's head, creating a kokoshnik-like effect. Some experts speculate that it could be converted into a necklace, though this has not yet been confirmed. Interestingly, the tiara is not only linked to Marie Chantal, but also to her eldest daughter, Princess Maria Olympia. According to one version, the tiara was purchased by Maria Olympia's grandmother, Chantal Miller, as a christening gift for her granddaughter, while her mother uses the tiara temporarily. Although Maria Olympia did not wear the tiara for a long time, she debuted it at a gala in 2018 celebrating Crown Prince Frederick of Denmark's 50th birthday. More recently, she wore it again at the banquet marking the 18th birthday of Princess Ingrid Alexandra of Norway at the Royal Palace in Oslo on June 17, 2022. Habsburg Fringe Tiara. Now we turn to the collection of the princely family of Liechtenstein, which houses the Habsburg Fringe Tiara with imperial roots. This tiara was crafted around 1890 by Kokert, the court jeweler of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It is believed to have been made for Archduchess Maria Theresa, the wife of Archduke Karl Ludwig, brother of Emperor Franz Joseph I. After the tragic death of Crown Prince Rudolf in 1889, her husband became the presumptive heir to the throne, and Maria Theresa took on a prominent role at court. The tiara may have been commissioned as a symbol of her elevated status. The tiara entered the Liechtenstein collection through Maria Theresa's daughter, Elizabeth Amalie, who married Prince Alois of Liechtenstein in 1903. Since then, it has been part of the family's heritage. In the mid-20th century, it was frequently worn by Princess Gina, the wife of Prince Franz Joseph II. She even appeared wearing the tiara on Liechtenstein postage stamps. The tiara has also graced several brides in the family. Countess Marie Kinsky wore it at her 1967 wedding to Prince Hans Adam II. 4 years later, Isabelle de Larbre de Melander wore it for her marriage to Prince Philip, Hans Adam's younger brother. In 2021, Princess Maria Annunziata of Liechtenstein chose the Habsburg Fringe Tiara for her wedding to Emanuele Mussini. Today, the tiara is primarily worn by hereditary Princess Sophie, who frequently represents the princely family at foreign royal events. Sayn-Wittgenstein-Berleburg Fringe Tiara. This exquisite diamond fringe tiara, created by jeweler Koch around 1905, is a significant piece in the Sayn-Wittgenstein-Berleburg family's collection. The tiara was commissioned as a wedding gift for Prince Richard, the fourth prince of Sayn-Wittgenstein-Berleburg, and his wife Princess Madeleine of Lowenstein-Wertheim-Freudenberg. After Princess Madeleine's death in 1976, the tiara was inherited by her grandson, Prince Richard, the husband of Princess Benedicta of Denmark. Since then, it has become one of the grandest jewels worn by Princess Benedicta. The tiara has been a staple at official events, including state visits to Denmark, Queen Margrethe II's jubilees, and royal family weddings. Following Prince Richard's death in 2017, the tiara has remained in the family collection. While Princess Benedicta has been its primary wearer, her son, Prince Gustav, and his wife, Carina Axelsson, now also have access to this jewel. After officially becoming part of the family in 2022, Carina may well become the next regular wearer of this magnificent tiara. Grand Duchess Maria Alexandrovna's Fringe Tiara. This diamond fringe tiara, crafted in the style of a Russian kokoshnik, was created as part of the trousseau of Grand Duchess Maria Alexandrovna, daughter of Tsar Alexander II. The tiara was a gift from her father for her wedding to Prince Alfred, Duke of Edinburgh, in 1874. Maria brought the jewel with her to England, where it became part of her personal collection. The tiara was passed down through the female line of the family. It was inherited by Maria's youngest daughter, Infanta Beatrice, Duchess of Galliera. Beatrice wore the tiara in her signature elegant style, placing it low across her forehead, as was fashionable in the 1920s. However, during the Spanish Civil War, the the tiara had to be sold to fund the construction of a hospital for wounded soldiers. Remarkably, the tiara remained within the extended family. It was purchased by Beatrice's niece, Queen Maria of Yugoslavia, Mignon, the daughter of Queen Marie of Romania, Beatrice's elder sister. Mignon frequently lent the tiara to her mother, who was twice painted wearing it in portraits by Philip de Laszlo. The tiara's journey took another turn after the fall of the Yugoslav monarchy. In 1960, it was sold at a Sotheby's auction for £10,000. Since then, its whereabouts remain unknown. Baden Fringe Tiara. This tiara is a significant piece in the Swedish royal family's collection. Its design is distinctive among fringe tiaras, making it easily recognizable. The tiara was gifted to Princess Victoria of Baden by her parents, Grand Duke Frederick Thirst of Baden and Princess Louise of Prussia, for her wedding to Crown Prince Gustav of Sweden in 1881. Victoria first wore the tiara as a necklace on her wedding day, and later as a tiara for official portraits and major events. After Queen Victoria's death in 1930, the tiara was transferred to the Bernadotte Family Foundation. It has been worn by successive queens, including Queen Louise, who made it one of her favorite pieces. Later, the tiara became a popular choice for Nobel Prize ceremonies, state visits, and royal weddings. The tiara played a particularly significant role in the life of Princess Lilian, who wore it more than 40 times, including at official banquets and major state events. In the 21st century, the tiara has become closely associated with Crown Princess Victoria, who has made it one of her signature pieces. She frequently wears it at Nobel ceremonies, state visits, and family celebrations, including weddings and anniversaries. This concludes my top selection of fringe tiaras. But what about you? What other fringe tiaras do you know, and which one is your favorite? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you won't miss future episodes about royal jewels. Thank you for joining me, and see you in the next video.